Hey, welcome back. It is Devonte, the CEO, and in this video, I'm actually going to be showing you how to properly fill out a business credit application so that way you can maximize your funding. Now, today I'm using Chase Bank. However, the general information that each bank is requesting is typically the same no matter what bank you're applying for. Okay, so I'm just going to be using Chase Bank for the example today, but you can literally use the same information across all banks, and that's actually what I recommend, so that way you can memorize what you're putting on each of the applications and it's not completely different. So to get started, the first thing they're going to ask for is the authorizing officer title, right? So who am I? Am I a member, owner, partner, president? Am I the treasurer or the vice president? So in my case, I'm the owner of the business, right? After you put that, you're going to put in your personal information here, your first, last name, date of birth, social security number, and then your address. Right now, the next thing that we're going to look at is going to be your total gross annual income. Right. So before we fill this out, let's see what they said. They said this is what you earn or reasonably expect to earn in a year. If you're 21 or older and regularly use income from others to pay your bills, you can include that too. Right? So that means that this number doesn't have to be completely accurate. You can actually be pretty optimistic with how much money you're expecting to make within the upcoming year. Right? So let's say that last year I made 75,000, but I think that I'm going to do $150,000 of gross annual income. You can put that number here as long as it's reasonable, right? So if you made $45,000 last year and you think you're going to make $50,000 this year, then put that number. Same thing, if you made $25,000 last year and you think you're going to make $50,000 this year, you can put that number as well because it's what you reasonably expect to earn in a year, right? So another mistake that I usually see is that people will put their net income instead of their gross income. So what's the difference? The income calculated after all taxes are taken out of your income. Your gross income is before taxes are taken out. So make sure that you're putting the gross income and not the net income. Now is going to be the business information. So your LLC structure is very, very important, right? So very often. So that's what we're going to use for the sake of the video. So you can put your legal business name, all of your document to the IRS or whatever name you put on the IRS for your bank on this document. Okay, I've seen people get denied simply because information does not match. So that's very, very important. Now, the desired business name on card is, I typically use my name. You can put your business name if you want. That's completely up to you. Now, do you have a DBA? What is a DBA? DBA means doing business as, if you have another name other than the legal business name that you used when you completed your business info. Now, the next thing we have to review is going to be the employer identification number. This is very, very important. Do not put your social security number in this box, and don't put your DUNS number in this box either. Okay, this is where they're looking at your business, so you should not be using your EIN number. Now, if you are a sole prop and you don't have EIN, sure, you can put your social security number and you can use that. But if you're using an LLC and you have an EIN number, make sure that you're utilizing your EIN number that was given to you by the IRS. Now, is your business's physical address the same as your personal address? If yes, put yes. But I highly recommend getting a separate address from your personal address, because whenever you register your LLC and you use your personal address, that is public information. So anyone can look up that address and can see where you're staying if it's a location where you reside. So make sure that you're using a separate virtual address where you can have mail sent to, so that way, one, is safer for you, and two, it looks more professional when a business or a lender looks you up and they see that it's an actual office. So you can say, I'm going to say, yes, it's the same for the sake of the video, but in reality, you should want it to not be the exact same thing. Now, the next part is the number of employees. If it's just you, just put 1. If it's 5 of you, put 5, and so on and so forth. So for me, I'm going to say 5. I expect to have 5 employees this year, so I'm going to put 5. For the business phone number, here's the phone number that I used to use, and that's what we'll use for the video. Now, the next part is, when was the business established, right? So when did you register your business with the IRS? So mine was in January of 2023, right? Now for the annual business revenue, right? So this is something that you should expect to make as well. So if you're making $25,000 a year and you expect to make $50,000, put the $50,000 down because it's what you're expecting to make. Okay, so make sure that you utilize that. Okay, I made $75,000 last year. This year, I'm expecting to make $150,000, right? You put that number. So that's what we're going to leave for now, use for this example. Now, for the business category. So this is actually very, very important, right? Because I talked about like what's considered high risk and what's not. But for this example, let's say that we're doing something like consulting or something, right? So we're doing something less professional and other professional business. And we are doing, I don't know, other professional business. Like I said, you want it to be fairly vague, right? So if I do that, it's pretty freaking vague. I would have to explain what I do in my business in order to maximize my funding. And this is for consulting. If you do something else with, let's say that you're in the construction business, right? And you specialize in other specialty, right? And all other specialty trade contractors. Something that is super, super vague, right? Now, for the estimated monthly spend, you actually want this number to be fairly high. And the reason that is because you want them to give you a limit that will allow you to spend that much money, right? So let's say that I'm going to spend $25,000 per month on that credit card, right? They may approve you for more than $25,000 because they know that you're planning on spending more than that monthly. And of course, they're going to want you to spend that money with them. So it's very, very important to make sure this number is a little bit higher, so that way it can increase the limit that they may potentially give you, right? So the next thing that we want to review is going to be the percent of ownership. Right. So if you are a single member LLC, you own 100% of the company. So you just put 100. If it's you and a partner, you just put 50%. Right. And do you need any employee cards? No, you do not. Now for this part here, go paperless for your billing statements. Do you want to go paperless and get your statements in the app? Yeah, sure. Let's save. Right. And then on this part here, this is going to be the pricing information. This is going to be the interest rates after the introductory period, right? So you can scroll through this information here if you'd like and hopefully get a better understanding of what you're signing up for. I think it's very good to understand, but that's pretty much how you do it. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. Once you get down to the end, you're going to press that you've read and agreed to the above, right? So you've read this and the certifications and you agree. And then once you're done, you're simply going to press submit. I'm not going to press submit because I already have this card, but that's how it's done. So it's fairly easy. It's not too difficult. Now, if you need assistance and you're tired of playing the guessing game and you're ready to get approved for upwards of $50,000 and 0% interest funding and you don't want to do it by yourself because you've tried it that way, right? Then you can click the link below. If you're tired of doing it on your own, you're tired of playing the guessing game, and you want actual help with real results, and you want to cut the learning curve in half, click the link below and use my resources where I can help you out. Here's the thing. You can do one or two things. You can hop off of this video, you can try it on your own and see what results you get, and hopefully you get approved. Or you can click the link below, hop on a call with me to see if I can even help you out. In worst case scenario, you leave with a ton of free resources that you can use to implement into your business. That's all that I have for this video. Hopefully this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.